Hello everyone, my name is Brandon Walton and this is my video on depression and the link to fresh foods. First, we will talk about how depression works in the body. Studies have shown that a smaller hippocampus along with an overactive amygdala can cause depression symptoms. These issues can also lead to lower serotonin production and serotonin processing. All these things can lead to someone having issues processing emotions. Another genetic issue is someone can have less serotonin receptors in the brain, causing the serotonin to take longer to process and not reach the nervous system quicker. And someone may also be missing an important enzyme in the process, causing the issue to slow down. So the functions of serotonin is that it is a key hormone that stabilizes our moods, feelings, and well-being and helps us feel happy. It enables brain cells and other nervous systems cells to communicate with each other. It also helps promote neurogenesis, which is the growth of new brain cells. It improves plasticity, which is communication between nervous cells, and it promotes healthy cell growth in the brain. Other markers for depression are homocysteine, which high levels of homocysteine in the blood plasma can lead to cardiovascular disease. High blood pressure can also lead to tears in the arteries, which can lead up to plaque buildup and damage in the arteries. A buildup of LDLs can cause plaque buildup. Here is an image showing a heart that has some plaque buildup, most likely due to LDL concentrations. Low levels of folate and vitamin B12 also coincide with high levels of homocysteine in the blood plasma. This is because both vitamins are needed to fully convert it into a safer molecule in the body. So what are folate and vitamin B12? Well, folate, which is folic acid, and structure over here, and B12, cobalamin, are both very important vitamins. Folate is needed for blood cells to completely mature. It also helps with embryonic development early in a child's life, pretty much before someone is getting pregnant in the early few weeks. It also is a big helper in DNA synthesis. Cobalamin helps us fully process and digest fatty acids in the body. It helps us maintain our myelin sheaths on our brain cells, and it helps us fully digest homocysteine, fully process homocysteine into methionine. So here are some sources of folate and cobalamin. On the left, we have folate's dance floor, which has avocados and limes. There's also oranges also have folate, but they also have a little bit of vitamin B12 in them as well. Cobalamin mostly comes from eggs and other protein sources. And then over here on the right, we have a couple that have both of them in them. Breads and grains and flours are very highly fortified in folates, and broccoli is a good source of both cobalamin and folate. So how is vitamin B12 absorbed into the human's body? It is actually a very complex mechanism. First, the salivary glands will release an R binder during the chewing process. And then this, along with whatever we've eaten, will go down into the stomach. The stomach continues to help release B12 and folate from the food. And the B12 in the stomach binds with the R binder so that the R binder can carry it further down into the digestive system. Also in the stomach, parietal cells will release intrinsic factor into the stomach. And then once everything is released into the duodenum, the pancreas will release protease, which is very important to help release the R binder and the vitamin B12. And then that releasing causes them to the vitamin B12 to combine with the intrinsic factor. Also, the folate at this point is easily absorbed, and it is mostly absorbed in the earlier parts of the small intestine. Later on, down in the ileum, where there are receptors for the intrinsic factor, and they bind on the ileum cells, and that is where they are absorbed. So, how folate and cobalamin create neurotransmitters. As you can see here, the folate cycle is you need the methyl tetrahydrofolate reductase to fully digest folic acid into homocysteine, which also can be then changed into methionine, which those two help create SAMe, adenosine methionine, adenosyl methionine, excuse me. This is a precursor to most of the important like dopamine, acetylcholine, and serotonin. In depression, these levels are low due to the cause of the slow reaction. So SAMe is important for people to create the correct hormones needed in the brain for processing. People with depression have been shown to have lower levels of SAMe due to their low levels of B12 and folate. This could be because of a deficiency. It could be a deficiency in the MTHFR enzyme. SAMe has been found to be a very good source, like a target source to avoid these deficiencies. It can be found as a supplement, though the supplement can be very expensive. So, COVID and the pandemic. The pandemic has limited transportation access to fresh food. Some cities aren't even running public transportation, buses, or even taxis. With the quarantine, many people have been unable to leave their homes. So, our country's current status continues to lead a rise in stress. This is a combination of limited food resources and other resources, but this has helped to promote more widespread depression. More than 65% of the people report that they are feeling depressed these days. So, with limited access to food due to the issue of transportation and legislation issues, food is being thrown away and wasted. Farmers that don't have transportation are retilling crops, and even large milk producers that cannot sell to restaurants are now dumping their milk because their milk isn't store available, sold in different amounts or larger amounts. And this is due to the way our food industry is run. Some suggestions that I offer. You need to eat fresh and locally grown foods, since these vegetables all have a very good source of nutrients. A way of doing this during the winter and fall seasons is you can do simply just a little herb garden in your window. And then you could also, when spring and summer, you can grow outside of your window. Supporting our local farmers markets whenever we are able to, when they're open. This can be difficult because I know they're seasonal. Eating lots of different types of fresh foods and will help too, making sure that you're not just eating one type of vegetable like carrots or potatoes. You make sure that you eat a wide variety. Small amounts of vitamins will be in all of them, so certain ones you'll need to eat more of. Consuming them raw whenever possible is much more beneficial. Avoiding boiling them if able to, or avoiding processing, because processing usually strips the nutrients. If able to, still try to buy locally, but if you cannot, buy as fresh as possible. Even though it comes from somewhere else, it still at least holds more nutrients. And canned and frozen vegetables are usually a good choice in a pinch because they are either flash boiled or flash frozen, so there is reduced nutrient loss. So when you start buying fresh foods and start changing your diet, it will lead to obviously a healthier diet and feeling healthier. Once you are having a healthy diet, it improves to overall health. In fact, COVID has opened up for the first time ever that food can actually be medicine. For the first time, it's being seen as something that can help cure people. So with your health improving and you're hopefully reducing your conditions of depression because you are now feeling healthier, which also helps you improve your mood. You'll probably be moving around more, which also leads to mood improvements. You'll be changing your situations, which continues to lead to more improvements in the mood. So this all leads to an increased interest in the fresh foods, and this hopefully will continue the cycle around. With local support, we will no longer be supporting bigger businesses controlling our market. We will have more say over what happens to our market, more effect on how it will be in the future and the foods that we will be able to see there. So I hope this was educational, and thank you for watching my video. Hit the like button, please, and I hope everyone has a safe and happy holiday. Thanks again for watching, and happy holidays.